Hiya, sorry, I just don't think that I'm finished with what I was going to say. I actually think there's more that I wanted to say that's left over from this week when I was in the car wearing this exact shirt, and I think that's what's brought it up, because I was wearing this shirt and it made me want to do it again. I was talking and I felt, I'm in that part of my cycle again where I'm really sensitive about, and I'm led by emotion and emotion of other people, and which is good because I have my in-laws here and my mother's going through an operation. So being sensitive about emotions is perfect for me at this moment in time, because it means that I really do take care to show that I care, to really show people that I think about them and that I care about them and I take their emotional well-being very seriously. So it's perfect timing. But what it means is that the other day I feel as if I said something that wasn't as caring as I wanted it to be. And what that thing was that I said, I don't want people to go through this again in 5 years' time. And I realized that came across very hard and very strong and quite rough and abrupt. But what I really, really wanted to say with that is that I don't want this to be a weight loss journey for people. I want this to be a health journey, and I want this to be the start of a lifelong journey to a healthy, happy, and loved life, right? And you start by loving yourself, and it all comes down to how much you love yourself. And as an individual, I have been loved my entire life. I mean, I've always been adored. I've always been loved, but I haven't always loved myself. I've seen the love in other people's eyes, and I've seen what they think of me, but I can't say that I always felt it myself. And I noticed that as a parent, my insecurities, I could see the subtleties in my parenting, that it was affecting my children, just because I was highly sensitive to it. And what I really, really, really want to pass on as a parent is love, right? I want them to love themselves and not just feel that they have to get love from other people, but that's part of life. Having people love you is I think, necessary. And you loving other people is necessary, but loving yourself is necessary too. And I think my parents have worked very hard on trying to stimulate that within me. But it's been a journey for me. I mean, because I question it. I question everything. It's who I am. I'm very curious, and I have to put my hand on the hot iron to believe that it's hot. So it's like, what if I really try not to love myself? Can I see the opposite side of it? I don't understand light until I understand dark. And I think the journey that I took was very hard on my mum, because she's a very emotional person, and so she saw it as she felt every moment of it with me, and she felt it deeply, and it made my dad worry, because he was like, this is weird. But they both helped me in their own ways, and I pray that I didn't hurt them that much. But I know that's just part of life, and I know that I have, and and I have to come to terms with that. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, that was a complete side street. The point is self-love, and I don't want people to come back to this point. And it's not about the weight. I think, personally, my message is to pass on that love that I have always had my entire life. I've been an extremely blessed person to be extremely loved, and I'm going to cry. So I need to pass that on to as many people as possible. I'm just going to keep doing it because you need to see it all. Because it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me to pass it on. And generationally, loving yourself for yourself has not actually been a very easy thing, because generationally, in the generations before, you were expected to become a stereotype, a gender type, and I understand why, survival of the species and survival of the group and all that, but we've all noticed that we can't do that to our own children. These children, this generation, it started with my generation. that we already, the people, no, it didn't. It started with the generation before. They already started opening up the gates to truth, to being who you are. I know my parents took a lot of flack in their generation for, wait a minute, no, I don't need to be just stereotyped as a woman or stereotyped as a man. I can also be many different things. So they started it, and now my generation have carried it on. And now we've gotten to the state where we are with my children's generation, where trying to alter their nature, they just don't accept it. They are who they are, and we need to teach them to love themselves, and it starts with us. So I don't want anybody on this challenge to go back to where they were at the beginning, and I mean that in the most sincere way, but I also mean it in the way of self-love, that I want you to continue loving yourself so much that every choice you make aids you in living a long and happy and healthy life, and a loved life. And for instance, for me, for personal choices, I love myself, therefore I go to bed on time. And that makes everything else about loving myself and having a healthy life easier. I make healthier choices if I go to bed at the time I'm supposed to go to bed. I live a full day, and then 8:30, I need to be heading towards my bed. And that's a choice I make because I love myself. And that's the point I wanted to say. I don't want people to be back in 5 years' time not loving themselves. So that's my take home. That's what I wanted to say that I didn't say the other day. I am passionate about people loving themselves and loving others and being loved. Basically, I'm passionate about love. But yeah, you can only be healthy if you love yourself. I mean, otherwise you do all the healthy stuff, but you fall into obsession and addiction. You can see it now. There's a big backlash against this health movement because people... It's now become it's fallen into psychopathology, that it's now a mental health disease where you are overly obsessed with eating healthy and doing healthy things. And that means that it's not self-love. It is actually just an action, but there's no love behind it. And we need to get to love. We need to start from love. We need to always come back to love because the heart knows best. So that's what I meant. And it stuck with me all week, and I wanted to say it again, that I don't want you to come back in 5 years' time to the point where you were at the beginning of this challenge. I want you to constantly grow in self-love and live long and healthy and happy lives with the people that you love and that love you. And so let's keep it at love. Let's keep it with the heart. And that's what I wanted to say. I want to pass on my birthright, which is love. I have always been loved, and I will always be loved, and I have always loved others, and I will always love others. And I'm starting to accept without... I touched the iron, and now I'm going, oh, okay, it's hot. I did it now, ma'am. I'm finished with it. I don't need to practice the other side anymore. I understand the light, and I understand the darkness. I understand the hate, and I understand the love. Don't worry, I'm done with that lesson now. She gets it. So, with that note, these heart earrings are actually from my wedding. I had a bracelet, and lovely man at Tiffany's, I'm using my trousers to wipe my nose. How gross is that? I mean, I love these trousers. They're from Cyprus. They're my happy trousers. Anyway, I got my wedding jewellery at Tiffany's. That's a whole story. I'd love to tell you that story one day. That was full of love too, because the guy at Tiffany's loved me and I loved him. Anyway, so the bracelet was too big, so they took out 2 of the hearts and made them into earrings for me. And now I still wear them as my daily jewellery. So that's it. Come back to love. Love yourself, love others, and be loved. Much love.